Hello and welcome to Disha's World, guys. So, moving forward in exploring the Pradhanmantri Sangrahalaya, we reach the time machine. This time machine show includes all the ancient scenarios. Finally, अब हम आ चुके हैं टाइम मशीन में.
India's nuclear journey started with the founding of the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research in 1945 with Dr. Homi Jahangir Bhabha as director. Dr. Bhabha played an influential role in persuading Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru about the importance of nuclear energy in India's progress. The Atomic Energy Act, passed on 15 April 1948, laid the foundation for utilizing nuclear energy in the nation's development. On 10th August 1948, the Atomic Energy Commission, AEC, was set up directly under Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, with Dr. Bhabha as the chairman. Dr. Bhabha formulated India's unique three-stage Indian nuclear power program. In August 1955, Dr. Bhabha presided over the first United Nations Conference on the peaceful uses of atomic energy held in Geneva. Dr. Bhabha asserted before delegates from 72 nations that atomic energy was much more than an important asset. It was an absolute necessity for the full industrialization of underdeveloped countries. India's nuclear energy program was designed for peaceful purposes. On 4th August 1956, India became the first Asian nation to have a nuclear reactor with the successful commission of Apsara, a 1 megawatt thermal MWT swimming pool type reactor. On 20th January 1957, the Atomic Energy Establishment Trombay, AEET, was dedicated to the nation by Pandit Nehru. It would later be renamed the Bhabha Atomic Research Center in honor of its founder. Cyrus, Canada-India Reactor Utility Service, a 40 megawatt thermal reactor made in cooperation with Canada, achieved criticality at Trombay on 10th July 1960. On 16th October 1964, China conducted its first nuclear test with a yield of 22 kilotons and joined USA, Soviet Union, Britain and France as a nuclear power. India now faced a direct strategic threat from a hostile neighbor. However, India's declared policy did not change. It would continue to use nuclear energy only for peaceful purposes. After Dr. Bhabha's untimely death in an airplane crash on 24 January 1966, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai became the chairman of AEC. Under Dr. Sarabhai, India's first nuclear power plant in Tarapur, Maharashtra, began commercial operations on 2nd October 1969 with an initial electrical power capability of 210 megawatts. Prime Minister Srimati Indira Gandhi resisted formidable international pressure and refused to sign the discriminatory Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, which would limit India's strategic options. On 18th May 1974, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi gave the nod for Operation Smiling Buddha, in which India conducted a 12 kiloton peaceful nuclear explosion. Dr. Raja Ramanna was the director, and Dr. H.N. Setna was then the chairman of the AEC. Following India's limited capacity test, the United States stopped the supply of enriched uranium that was used as fuel at the Tarapur Atomic Power Station. This was a part of the bilateral nuclear cooperation agreement signed between India and the United States on 8th August 1963 and was to remain in force for a period of 30 years. This proved to be a blessing in disguise, as India became self-reliant with a completely indigenous nuclear program. India entered a new phase of defense deterrence during Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi's tenure, with the first ever test firing of its tactical surface-to-surface missile, Prithvi, in February 1988. India also conducted a test of its long-range missile, Agni, on 22nd May 1989. A new chapter in India's nuclear journey was scripted in 1996 under the leadership of scientist Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and Prime Minister PV Narasimha Rao, with the induction of Prithvi 1, India's first missile capable of carrying nuclear warheads, into the Indian Army. Neither Shri Rao nor successor Prime Ministers signed the discriminatory Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty. In March 1998, Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee took the bold step that transformed India's security capabilities. He authorized the nuclear tests that made India the world's 6th nuclear power. On 11th May 1998, India successfully demonstrated its prowess by conducting 3 underground nuclear tests. Nuclear physicist Dr. Anil Kakodkar was the director of BARC and Dr. R. Chidambaram was the chairman. Simultaneously, Prime Minister Vajpayee announced a no first use policy. The United States imposed fresh sanctions on India, but Prime Minister Vajpayee's innovative diplomacy persuaded the world to recognize India as a responsible nuclear weapons state. Under Prime Minister Shri Manmohan Singh, India signed the 123 Civil Nuclear Agreement with the United States of America on 11th October 2008. India agreed to separate its civil and military nuclear facilities, and the United States agreed to provide full civil cooperation, acknowledging that India was a responsible member of the world's nuclear club. In 2018, India's first nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarine, INS Arihant, completed its first deterrence patrol. With that, India joined the list of nations with nuclear triad, the capability to launch missiles from land, air, and under sea. In June 2017, Prime Minister Narendra Modi approved the construction of 10 indigenously developed 700-megawatt pressurized heavy water reactors, PHWRs, in fleet mode. The Department of Atomic Energy's non-nuclear applications have made significant contributions to society. DOE research centers have developed a low-cost membrane-assisted technology for desalination and purification of contaminated water for drinking purposes. It has also developed 42 new varieties of crops using radiation-induced mutation breeding with a higher yield, seed size, early maturity, and resistance to biotic and abiotic stressors. DAE's research centers have developed Babatron 2, a low-cost telecobalt radiotherapy machine, cesium-137 pencils for blood irradiation, and India's first indigenous ruthenium plant for eye cancer therapy. India's nuclear journey, which commenced with Dr. Homi Jahangir Bhabha, continues to power India and transform lives.
So finally guys, the show is over. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Be happy and keep others happy. Thank you so much.